Yesterday we were discussing about the properties of colloidal solution, and the last property I have discussed, that was electrophoresis or electric properties. Now we have to discuss about the double layer theory of charged particles of colloidal solution. Double layer theory or zeta potential or electrokinetic potential. Electrokinetic potential. Generally question is asked in competitive exam or board exam, what do you mean by zeta potential or electrokinetic potential? According to double layer theory of charge, the colloidal particles are having two types of charge. Out of these, one charge is fixed while other charged particles are move around it, and due to movement of those ions about the fixed layer of the charge, a potential difference is generated, and that potential difference is known as zeta potential or electrokinetic potential. So zeta potential or electrokinetic potential is defined as the potential difference produced due to movement of charged particle about the fixed layer of charge in the colloidal solution, that is known as zeta potential or electrokinetic potential. Second electric property of colloidal solution is electroosmosis. Electroosmosis means the movement of solvent particles from lower concentration to higher concentration in presence of semi-permeable membrane and electric field, that is known as electroosmosis. Next one is very important, and that is coagulation or fluoculation. Coagulation or fluoculation. Coagulation or fluoculation. Coagulation or fluoculation means the conversion of a colloidal solution into precipitate. Conversion of a colloidal solution into precipitate by addition of an electrolyte having opposite charge. By addition of an electrolyte having opposite charge, that is known as coagulation or fluoculation. The conversion of colloidal solution into precipitate by addition of an electrolyte having opposite charge, that is known as coagulation or fluoculation. Example of it is clotting of blood by use of potassium. Blood is a colloidal solution and potassium is an electrolyte added to form the precipitate, and due to which the clotting of blood will take place. Same way, the second example of coagulation is the delta formation. Delta formation at bed of the sea or river. Due to presence of charged particles, due to friction, the charged particles, oppositely charged particles get attracted to form a aggregation, due to which the delta formation takes place, and that is also due to coagulation or fluoculation. First of all, we have to study about the charge of the colloidal solution at their type. The colloidal solution can be of two types. One are negatively charged colloidal solution. And the second are positively charged colloidal solution. The negatively charged colloidal solution example are colloidal solution of metals, metal sulfide, colloidal solution of metal sulfide like arsenic sulfide, antimony trisulfide. Next, acidic dyes, colloidal solution of acidic dyes. They are generally the negatively charged colloidal solution. While for positively charged colloidal solution, example are metal oxide, colloidal solution of metal oxides, metal hydroxide, colloidal solution of metal hydroxide, and colloidal solution of basic dyes. Colloidal solution of basic dyes. Those are example of positively charged colloidal solution. So the negatively charged colloidal solution can be precipitated by addition of positive charge, while positively charged colloidal solution can be precipitated or coagulated by addition of negatively charged particles. Now we have to discuss about a very important rule, and that is known as Schedule-Hardy rule. Generally asked in your competitive exam as well as board exam. Schedule-Hardy rule. Schedule-Hardy rule. And this rule has two parts of statement. The first one is coagulation can be caused only. Coagulation can be caused only when electrolyte with opposite charge is added to the colloidal solution. Coagulation can be caused only when electrolyte with opposite charge is added to the colloidal solution. And second is very important one, the coagulation power. Coagulation power is directly proportional to fourth power of the valency of the opposite charge. Fourth power of the valency of the opposite charge. Questions may be there. Gold is a negatively charged colloidal solution. Gold is a negatively charged colloidal solution. Then, which of these has maximum coagulation power? Maximum coagulation power. Which of these has maximum coagulation power? And options are Na3PO4, second is K2SO4, third is K3FeCN6, and fourth option is PbCl4. As according to Schedule-Hardy rule, I have mentioned, we have to see here negatively charged colloidal solution is there, so we have to see the charge of cation. For first, charge is +1, second +1, third is +1, but for fourth, the charge on lead is +4. That tells the maximum coagulation power. Same way, next question I am taking. Ferric hydroxide is a positively charged colloidal solution. Ferric hydroxide is a positively charged colloidal solution. Positively charged colloidal solution. Then, which has maximum coagulation power. Options are, the first one is Na3PO4, second one is BaCl2, third one is NaCl, and fourth one is Fe4FeCN6 3 times. And colloidal solution this time is positively charged. Then we have to see the charge of negatively charged ions. For first, charge is -3, second -1, fourth, third -1, but fourth -4. Hence, last one has the maximum coagulation power. Now, we have to discuss about the coagulation value. Coagulation value. Coagulation value. What do you mean by coagulation value? Coagulation value may be defined as the number of millimoles of electrolyte, with opposite charge, required to convert 1 liter of colloidal solution, 1 liter of colloidal solution into precipitates completely, into precipitate completely is known as coagulation value or fluctuation value, is known as coagulation value or fluctuation value. Very important one for competitive exams, numericals may be there. I am repeating once again, coagulation value or fluctuation value may be defined as the number of millimoles, keep it in mind, number of millimoles of electrolyte with opposite charge required to convert 1 liter of colloidal solution into precipitate completely is known as coagulation value or fluctuation value. One thing more, coagulation value or fluctuation value, coagulation value or fluctuation value is inversely proportional to coagulation power. So more will be the coagulation power, lesser will be the coagulation value or fluctuation value. I am taking a numerical here which may be asked in your competitive exams. If 50 ml of gold sol, 50 ml of gold sol requires 0.02 mole of NaCl for complete precipitation, then what is the coagulation value or fluctuation value? Coagulation value or fluctuation value of NaCl. Fluctuation value of NaCl. First of all, we have to find out the millimoles. Millimoles of NaCl will be equal to moles into 10 to the power 3, and that comes out to be 20. Hence, from here, for 50 ml, millimoles required will be 20. For 1 ml, it will be 20 by 50. And for 1000 ml, as 1 liter has 1000 ml in it, that value comes out to be 400. So coagulation value of fluctuation is 400. Now we have to discuss about the protection of the colloidal solution. Protection of colloidal solution. Protection of colloidal solution. As we know, when oppositely charged electrolyte is added to the colloidal solution, it gets precipitated. So, prevent the precipitation, we have to add an electrolyte with same charge. And this addition of electrolyte with same charge is known as protection of the colloidal solution. And the amount of electrolyte with same charge added is measured in terms of protection value, and this protection value can be expressed in two terms or two constants. One is known as gold number, generally asked in your board as well as competitive exam, and the second one is Congo red Robin number. Congo red Robin number. Generally asked in your board exam as well as competitive exam, medicals may be there on gold number. First of all, we have to discuss about what is gold number. Gold number means the minimum amount of protecting electrolyte in milligrams. minimum amount of protecting electrolyte in milligrams required to prevent coagulation of 10 ml gold salt. I am writing here minimum amount of protective electrolyte in milligrams required to prevent coagulation of 10 ml gold soap when 1 ml 10% NaCl is added to it. 1 ml 10% NaCl is added to it is known as gold number. Is known as gold number. Minimum amount of protecting electrolyte in milligrams required to prevent coagulation of 10 ml gold soap when 1 ml 10% NaCl is added to it is known as gold number. And keep it in mind, higher will be the gold number, lesser will be the protection power. Higher gold number, lesser will be the protection power. Higher gold number, lesser will be the protection power. But the best protecting reagent can be gelatin. Best protecting electrolyte can be gelatin. Now I am taking a numerical here too. 10, let's suppose 50 ml of gold soap. 50 ml of gold soap requires 0.5 gram of protecting electrolyte to prevent coagulation when 1 ml 10% NaCl is added. What is gold number? What is the gold number of this electrolyte? What is the gold number of this electrolyte? Gold number of this electrolyte. So, first of all, we have to convert weight into milligram. Weight of protecting electrolyte in milligram will be 0.5 into 1000, and that comes out to be 500 gram. From here, for 50 ml, amount electrolyte in milligram will be 500 milligram. For 1 ml, it will be 500 over 50, and we have to find for 10 ml. For 10 ml, the value comes out to be 100. So, the code number for the given electrolyte is 100. I hope you have understood the numericals. You will solve that. Next topic we have to discuss, that is Congo red Robin number. Congo red Robin number. It is also used to express the protecting power of the electrolyte, and it may be defined as amount of protecting electrolyte in milligrams. Amount of protecting electrolyte in milligrams required to prevent color change. In 50 ml of Congo red dye when 0.16 gram equivalent of KCl is added to it. I am repeating it again. minimum amount of protecting electrolyte in milligrams required to prevent color change in 50 ml of Congo red dye when 0.16 gram equivalent of KCl is added to it, that is known as Congo red robin number. Generally gold number is asked, but I have explained Congo red robin number once it has been asked in PMT exam. Now we have to discuss about two more topics of colloidal solution, and the first one is emulsion. In board exams, questions may be there. What do you mean by emulsion? We have already explained. Emulsion is the colloidal solution in which both dispersed phase and dispersion medium are liquid. Emulsion is the colloidal solution in which both dispersed phase as well as dispersion medium are liquid, are known as emulsion. And these emulsion can be of two types. One is oil in water emulsion, and the second one is water in oil emulsion. Oil in water emulsion and water in oil emulsion. First we have to discuss their definition, then we will give the chemical test. How can we detect the nature of emulsion? First, oil in water emulsion is that emulsion in which oil or fat act as dispersed phase while water act as dispersion medium. Water act as dispersion medium, an example of it is milk. Next, water in oil emulsion, in it water act as dispersed phase while fat or oil act as dispersion medium, an example of it is butter. Now we have to test, we have to discuss about the test by which we can test the nature of emulsion. There are generally three tests by which we can detect the nature of emulsion, and the first one is microscopic method. Microscopic method. In this method, we can use the microscope. We can use the microscope to see the nature of dispersed phase particle, by it we can detect whether the emulsion is oil in water or water in oil. Next is conductometric test. Conductometric test, very important one. In this type of test, a few drop of electrolyte is added to the emulsion. A few drop of electrolyte is added to the emulsion. If the conductivity increases, then it will be oil in water type of emulsion. And if the conductivity remains same, then it will be water in oil emulsion. Once again I am explaining. In this test, few drop of electrolyte are added to the emulsion, and then conductivity is measured. If conductivity increases, then it will be oil in water emulsion. But if the conductivity remains same, then it will be water in oil emulsion. And the third test is dye test. Dye test. As the name suggesting, here few drops of a dye is added to the emulsion. Few drops of dye is added to the emulsion. If the color get intensified or color become dark, then it will be oil in water emulsion. But if the color remains same, then it will be water in oil. Emulsion. There are three tests. Now one more thing is there. What is emulsifying agent? Emulsifying agent. Questions may be there. What do you mean by emulsifying agent in due exam? Emulsifying agent are those substances which are used to stabilize an emulsion. Those substances which are used to stabilize an emulsion are known as emulsifying agent. General example of emulsifying agent is gelatin, which is used in ice cream. Gelatin is the common emulsifying agent which is added in ice cream for stabilization. Or second example of it is casein, that is found in cow milk. It is a natural emulsifying agent found in cow milk. Casein is the natural emulsifying agent found in cow milk. Next is demulsification. de-emulsification. Question may be there. What do you mean by de-emulsification? De-emulsification means separation of emulsion into its components. That is known as de-emulsification. Separation of a emulsion into its component. That is known as de-emulsification. Now we have to discuss one more topic of this chapter, and that is gel. That is gel. Questions may be there. What do you mean by gel and what are their types? As we know, gel is the colloidal solution in which liquid acts as a dispersion phase. Liquid acts as a dispersion phase while solid acts as dispersion medium. Liquid acts as a dispersion phase, solid acts as a dispersion medium, that is known as gel. Example is silica gel, ink gel is there, even shaving creams are example of gel. And these gels can be of two types. One are elastic gels, and the second one are non-elastic gels. Elastic gel and non-elastic gels. Elastic gels are those gels which cannot be dried, or which on drying get their original properties itself. Those are known as elastic gels. While non-elastic gels are those which get dried by removal of dispersion water from them. Those are known as non-elastic gel. And drying of the water, drying of the liquid from a gel, that is known as synersis. That is known as synersis. While regaining of the original properties by the gel, that is known as thixotropy. Generally asked in an objectives. Drying of the dispersion medium from the gel, that is known as synersis, while regaining of original properties by the gel, that is known as thixotropy. And the last topic for this chapter we are going to discuss, that is the application of colloidal solution in our daily life. Application of colloidal solution in our daily life. The first one, the colloidal solution are used as food item. Colloidal solution are used as food item in our daily life. Example are milk and milk product. Example, milk and milk product. Second, the colloidal solution are used as medicines. Colloidal solution are used as medicines. For example, the colloidal solution of antimony. Colloidal solution of antimony is used as an antidote of arsenic poisoning. Same way, gold salt is used for treatment of kala jar. Next, the colloidal solution are used to explain the cleansing action of soaps and detergent. Cleansing action of soaps and detergent on basis of micelle formation. Next, colloidal properties are used to explain the tail of comet known as Tyndall cone. Next, colloidal solution are used, or colloidal properties are used to in metallurgical processes for separation of metals or ions. Next, colloidal properties are used for artificial rain. Colloidal solution or colloidal properties are used for artificial rain. During artificial rain, a spray of electrolyte is sprayed on in atmosphere, due to which the clouds get condensed and that results in rain. And the last is colloidal properties are used to explain the delta formation. Colloidal properties are used to explain the delta formation. And the last one, colloidal solution are used, or colloidal properties are used for the coagulation of blood. Coagulation of blood. With this, surface chemistry chapter comes to end. I hope you understand. Now you need to do the numerical the questions and the assignment given at the end of your book as well as in my notes. Till then, thank you.